Hi guys, my name is Lewis and this is my video for Pabbly's challenge for Automate January, or at least that's what we're calling it now. And in this video I'm going to show you a workflow that I set up to sell event tickets and register the attendance of these events. This is meant for smaller events, things like workshops or seminars, in which you won't receive a large number of attendees. Okay, so when we're talking about hundreds, okay, but maybe a few dozen attendees or customers. Okay, so in this workflow, we're going to look at the customer point of view and the organizer point of view. Okay, from the customer point of view, you're going to be able to purchase event tickets and receive those tickets in PDF by email with a unique QR code and other details. As the organizer, you will be able to collect the attendees' details, payments, and register the attendance at the event on the day of the event. Okay, so let's take a look at the tools that I've used to set this up. So I've chosen to use Typebot because it's really cool for the registration form. Canva for the ticket design. Okay, so I'll just show you that and shut it. So I've created this template which I've exported as an image and used later on. I'll just close that now. Then I'm using QR.io to generate unique QR codes for each of the tickets. And then obviously the Google Suite, including Drive, Sheets, and Slides to store documents, to store data and track attendance, and the Google Slides for producing the tickets. And then obviously Gmail to send out the tickets to customers. And then at the event, we would be making use of a phone. We just need a QR scanner, and then native forms as well, which we could have used at the beginning, but I think Typebot worked better for my taste. Then Pabbly, obviously, to connect all of these apps and the flow. Right, so I'm going to walk you through the flow, and I'm going to show you the different steps that this flow has. So pre-event, okay, when we're selling the tickets, the users will submit a form, okay? In this form, we will collect name, email, event date, and a simple payment, okay? And this is actually the form. I'm going to show you what that does. Okay, so as you can see, it's a conversational form, which is quite cool. I'll just use this to be able to identify it. That's my email address. The customers can choose a date, so let's pick Wednesday. And now with the payment, just let's use Stripe's test payment thing. So that should do it. And when this happens, okay, the user is going to receive an email with all these details and the PDF ticket. Okay, so just give me a second, and I'll show you the email that is being generated. Let's see. All right, there we are. Wait a minute. So this is the email that I've received. It says, thanks for registering, blah, 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 the details, blah, blah, blah. And as you can see, we have the attachment there, which is the event ticket with a unique QR code and the name and date. Right, so let's go back to the screen there. So we've done that. And in order to achieve this result, okay, we've done the following. Okay, we've sent, with using Pabbly Connect, we've sent these details to a Google Sheet, which is this one, right? And we have that info there. And we can see that here, okay, we've added and matched the different columns with all the information that we need there, which is quite simple in this case. And then we've also generated a QR code, as you can see there. And we've generated a QR code that points to a URL of native forms. Okay, I told you earlier that we were going to be using native forms to register the attendance at the event. So what is cool here is that I've created the form, taken the URL, and then I've added the parameters to include the name, the email address, and the date, because what this URL is going to do is pre-populate these fields in that form. Okay, so it'll be easier when you're registering the attendees, sorry, at the event. You simply scan the QR code, and you will see this populated already. So you just have to hit submit to register that customer. And then from here, we move on to creating the ticket. Okay, so from typebot, we're also sending those details to a Google slide. Okay, inserting the name and date. So let me just show you this. All right. Okay, so we're inserting there the name and the date, and in the next step, just after that, we're uploading an image to that test, okay, to that ticket, sorry, that slide. So we're replacing, as you can see here, we have the template, which has a dummy QR code. Okay, that means you have to use a dummy image there in order to replace it with the actual image of the real QR code. Okay, so we're taking that template, we're creating a ticket. In this case, it was John Doe with that with the name, date, and the actual QR code. And then from there, we are exporting. Well, we are sharing that file here. So create the ticket, upload the QR code. We're sharing that file, and then because we need to do this step to be able to transform this slide into a PDF file, which we will then send to the user, right? So that's what we're doing there. I'll just show you a bit from here. So basically, to share a file, we're getting the presentation ID from the file created here, okay? And then with that done, we're getting the URL created. When you share a file, basically one of the things you get there is the PDF version of that slide, okay, of that document. So we're getting that document, and we're uploading it as a separate document to a different folder, okay, to this folder there, which is basically this one, okay. You can see the ID is the same there, right? Sorry, no, it's this one, this ID, okay. And that's already the PDF file, and this is what we're going to be sending in the next step as an attachment. Okay, so in this case, I'm choosing a static recipient email address because I'm using the same one, and I don't want to have trouble there sending and receiving at the same time. But this should actually be replaced by the dynamic email address that users are going to be sending out. A sender's name, email subjects, blah blah blah, and then I've set up the email there with these variables, with the name and the date, and most importantly, I'm setting the name of the ticket, okay, and the sharing the file as a PDF document, okay, which is this file corresponds to this one, okay, that URL corresponds to this file, I mean. All right, so let's see what happens when I scan this file, okay, when I scan that ticket. Let me just move on to my phone there, and let's see. So it's scanning the code, it's going to that native form, and as you can see, all the name, email and date details have been populated, so I simply submit. And when I submit that, and I'll just go back to the previous screen, it will register that this person has attended the event. Okay, that this person was actually there at the door and entered the venue of the event. How do we do that? Very simple. Okay, we have to create a different workflow, which I'll show you. I'll show you here in this summary. So we've scanned the document, the QR code of the ticket, and that's taken us to native forms with pre-populated details, name, email, and event date. And from there, we perform 2 action steps. Okay, we look up a row in the sheet where we have collected the information of our customers, right? So I'll just show you there. Okay, we look up that spreadsheet, and what I've done is look up column A and look up for the value of the name. Okay, in this case, that's a test that I run earlier, but in this case, we're looking up John Doe, right? And then what this does, it's say, yeah, okay, so junior flies in this case is in row index 3. All right, so it does coincide, it's there. All right, and it will update the cell value, which is in column D and row index 3 here, column D, row index 3, and it will update that to yes, as in this person was there. Okay, you can add any dynamic value you want there, but in this case for me it was enough to update it to yes. And from there, that's it. Okay, we've already sold the tickets. We've already using Typeform. We've registered the attendance using native forms, and we have everything we need. We have the payment and everything. All right, so that's the end of this workflow. But I'd like to show you also some things that you can do, just a couple of ideas that you can do to further develop this flow. All right. So for example, you could use the details and Pabbly to add the customers to a CRM or email marketing campaign. You can ask attendees to leave a review. So this would be very simply done by adding to this simple workflow of the attendance by adding a delay. All right, you could do something like this, delay, and then a delay for, let's say, hours, let's say 24 hours, and then perform the next action step, which would be send an email, right? So we would have that. I'm not going to complete it now, but you could send an email to the customer, to the attendees, okay, who actually went to the event 24 hours later, asking them for a review. Or you could also include some sort of upsell to purchase merch or goods that are related to that event, maybe an ebook or a t-shirt or whatever you want, or whatever you're offering actually. But you could use it, you could do this by simply adding more steps to these workflows, right? I recommend adding these steps to the attendance workflow, which is actually simpler. But because I wouldn't use it in the other one, because in the other one you don't know still if the people who paid for the event actually attended it. So it wouldn't be nice if you didn't go to an event. It wouldn't be nice to receive an email asking you to review the event. So that's it. If you have any questions about the workflow, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer whatever I can. As you can see, it's not a very long workflow. It's not complex, but it is effective if, as I said at the beginning of the video, it's a simple event, right? If it's for a large event, it won't be effective because scanning the QR codes with your phone is not the most effective way of registering attendance, and it would take a while. But if it's, I don't know, an event with 10, 20, 30 people, I think that would be quite doable. and quite effective without having to use or pay for other tools that you might not have. And also you can do this with completely free tools. For example, I mean free tools apart from Pabbly, but you could use, instead of Typeform or native forms, you could use Google Forms. For the QR codes, I'm not sure if there are any free alternatives there, but I'm sure you can work something out. And then if you're using something like QR code, it's very, very affordable. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you find this automation interesting, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye-bye.